When we have no more hope to live, to breathe, to exist or coexist with anyone in this world or in any world, we just have to pray to Christ to understand that Him and only Him is our key to awakening, to the life that we were always meant to have. It is a bit confusing at times as we are unsure of what is that life that we were meant to have. Dear one that is listening now, just know that the process of returning to your life, to your destiny, of embodying the truth of who you really are, is a journey of surrendering to Christ, step by step, more and more. At times you might be so alone that you feel that you have to surrender even your family to Him. And you have to do it. It is a process that at times you have to go through because sometimes they are not so cooperative with Christ as you are. Or sometimes maybe they are more cooperative with Christ than you are. That's why you should always inquire within and see for yourself, what is it that I'm doing wrong? What is it that I need to learn from? What is that which I need to change about my process, about my daily activities? You see, in the course that we have available and that you can view and follow through in the link in the description below, the course named Return to Christ in 7 steps, or also called Surrender to Christ in 7 days. One of the activities is the Bible study. Christ is telling us that being of service is something that is very important, and in one of the chapters that I will mention in the title, Christ is saying that even the greatest of us need to serve. The greater we are, or the greater we think we are, the more we have a duty to serve one another. Now, our service needs to be always a call to Christ and a follow through of that call that Christ is calling us to do. If we are doing so, if we are answering the call that Christ is telling us, no matter how hard it is, then we can say that we belong to Him. If Christ is calling us to have a conversation with our family, with our friends, with people unknown, and we are doing so, we belong to Him. If we are being rejected by our family, our friends, or unknown people, even though we went there to speak, following Christ's guidelines, we have nothing to fear. We may lose our family, our friends, or connections of any kind, but it matters not as long as we have Christ's connection. As long as we are loyal to Him, we have nothing to fear, because Christ Himself said, honor your parents, but not above me. So honor your parents, mainly. Of course, your friends as well, your relatives, anyone. Love your neighbor, even your enemy. But when it comes to honoring your parents, for example, you must not honor them above what Christ is revealing for you that the truth is. If they are saying a lie, if they are not supportive of you, of your journey towards Christ, if they are criticizing your journey to Christ, if they are criticizing you calling the name of Christ or mentioning the name of Christ too many times, then worry not. You're not the only one that is going through this. We all have our journey of returning back to Christ, where we have to rebuke at times our own parents with love and tell them, it's fine. I'm not here to lead myself based on what you tell me, or to do or not do things based on what you tell me. If that is in synchronicity with Christ, I will follow that because I know it comes from Him. If that is not in synchronicity with Christ, then I will rebuke you and tell you, no, that is not true. I will not follow that, and I will not speak with you anymore because you are not speaking the word of Christ. Honor them, love them, but do not love them when they are talking rubbish, when they are talking nonsense, when they are talking lies. You see, each and every one of us, including ourselves, at times are willing to lie or are lying unconsciously. And that's why, therefore, we need the person of Christ to stand his ground, no matter who they are to us, and no matter what relationship we have with them, and tell us the truth. And we need to ask each and every person we have around us that we know that is of Christ, that have shown us that they are of Christ. Always tell me the truth that Christ is putting on your heart. Let them feel free to speak the truth that Christ is expressing to them, that they have on their hearts. Because you see, when someone is talking the truth that they know it is of Christ, it will always click in your heart. It will always bring you a sense of relief, no matter if it is bad or if it is good. It will bring us a sense of relief. So listen to yourselves. Service and being of service of one another is always making sure that we're going to be of service for the Christ within each and every one of us the way we can. We try to stabilize our own relationship with Christ by staying in commitment with Christ, by serving Christ through the activities that we do each and every day, hence the course that we have available for you to follow through in the link in the description. And also to be of service to others that are willing to open to Christ and that are showing congruent and daily actions in that service to Christ. You see, the call that Christ is saying to lead us everywhere and how they need to serve. We need to serve not just serving food, not just through our daily work in constructions, in the newspaper, in the bank, in the court of law, in the police, in the hospital, even as a janitor. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what your work of service is, make sure you are honoring Christ in your work. Because if you're not honoring Christ in your work, there's just a pointless job that you are doing, and you are coming closer each and every day. When you go into work, you're coming closer to death, to sickness, to suffering, to pain, to unfortunate events and accidents. The more you give in to doing a work that brings nothing to Christ and to the kingdom of God, you are pointless, my son or daughter, is what Christ would say. No, he will never say that, of course. It's something that I, from my human mind, would say to anyone that would not do a work to honor Christ. Because that is a soulless job, and is also a soul-draining job, and is also a place where we getting older one day just as much as we would get in 10 days or more, depending on the job and depending how far away from Christ that company is, depending how far away from Christ that action that we take is. For example, if you are a judge, where you tend to prosecute people, and instead of giving them options to learn and educate themselves into better ways of coming closer to Christ, to God, to the light of God, and instead of you are punishing them and not giving them a chance of redemption, then you are not of God. If you as a policeman or a policewoman finding someone speeding, and you're not sending them to a course about the dangers of speeding immediately as a number one action, and instead you're giving them a ticket, that is just a form of punishment. Punishment will not make a person better. Rarely, it will rarely happen that punishment will make a person better. What will make a person better is re-educating them. So send them to court to accept a ticket of following through with a course of 6 months of seeing the dangers of speeding, so they can learn and understand through the obligation of being there each and every day, each and every hour of whatever that course, however long that course is. Tell them to sit down and watch and learn and give exams to see how much they understood. And if they have not understood, they will take the course again until they've learned and they passed with a minimum of, just like where you take the driver's license exam, with a minimum of points, so they can realize truly what it means. That's when they've learned their lesson, and that's when next time when they will go to drive, they will have those teachings in their mind, in their subconscious, in their conscious mind, and they will walk different people. Yes, every course we go through will change us. If that exam that we take will be passed. Let's be better human beings with one another through representing Christ in our work. How do you represent Christ in your work?